Spine Ticks Pressing here, and I've got a copy of ASM 300 in a newsstand. But I'm worried that it might be a bootleg copy. So stay tuned. Let me tell you the reasons why, and I need your help in determining whether or not this is the real McCoy. So let's get to it! Hello friends, thanks for being here and staying on the channel to take a look at this new copy of mine, ASM 300. This was a book that I received from Mrs. Spine Ticks for Christmas. Fantastic. This is a book that I have wanted to acquire for a very long time. I stopped collecting in 1985, and I have since made it my goal to go back and get all the books that I would have had if I kept collecting. Well, I picked up, let me give you the story behind this one. So Mrs. Spine Tick said, you've got the green light to go out and find a beautiful copy of ASM 300. And I like newsstand copies. That's what I want to find. So I looked and looked and looked everywhere you could think of, all the usual places. And I finally narrowed it down to about 3 copies. A couple of them were on eBay, and they were all around the same price, and then one on Facebook Marketplace. And the one on Facebook Marketplace was the one that I wound up buying. It was listed at $425, and I was able to talk the seller down because it had been up there for a while, down to $375. Now, I did ask for extensive photographs. I asked for photos of the spine, and they made me quite nervous because they actually sent me an image, and I'll see if I can add it right up here if I still have it. But they sent me an image of the book laying flat with the spine up. And I guess that's not too much stress on the spine, but it made me pretty nervous that they would do that to this book. So that was a clue. That could be a clue for you. And what I need your help today with is to let me know in the comments below if you think this is the real McCoy or if you think this is a bootleg copy. Now, I wound up getting the book for $375. I asked if it would come in a Gemini mailer. They did send, actually didn't use a Gemini, but they did a great job of taking some cardboard. They put a top and a bottom, taped it up really good, and sent it to me in a bubble wrap envelope. It was in great shape. Now, the book arrived in this bag here. This was the original bag that the book came to me in, and I think it could be a clue. I'm going to show it to you so you can get a better look at it. I did notice this residue up here at the top. And when I take out the backer board, I'm not sure if the backer board was backwards, I just pulled it out backwards with the shiny side away from the book. I may have done that. But this is the original bag that came with the book when I received it. Now, after receiving it, I took it out, examined it, and placed it in another bag. And I like to keep my books in silver. I just think that the silver bags and boards give, a little bit of extra room on the sides, and I think that it's just, for me, I feel like that protects the book a little bit better. So when I received it, and let me show you, I became really nervous because the book that I received, this book here, looked very, very good. It looked better. This is, I think, the first book, and God, of any of the books you could possibly purchase online, this is the first copy of a book that I've received that looked better when I received it than in all the photos that I saw. Now, I know a newsstand copy, they back in the days, they tended to be sold in supermarkets, not necessarily in comic stores, and were pretty beat up because of the fact that they were on rack or they were on some type of display. And so they're very difficult to get, relatively difficult, I think, to get in high grade. And I think this book, you know, I'm not exactly certain on the date, but I think this was, what was it? Well, we got up here, it says 1988 is a date on that. So I'm going to show you the book. As you can see it, it really, really looks fantastic. And that made me very nervous. And I have read stories of books that have been sold online that are essentially just really very, very well done reproductions. And I've not read anything about ASM 300 as a reproduction, but I'll tell you what, in my opinion, if there's a book to do it for, this would be the book. So I've got it out of the bag, and I'm gonna get a little cardboard to put on top so I can flip it. But before I do that, I want to let you take a look at the spine. And again, I really need your help. If you think this is the real deal, let me know in the comments below. Now, one of the things that jumped at, so as you can see, minimal spine ticks. I can only really see, there are a couple little, there's one color break there that I can see, and one there that is just super, super difficult to see. Now, when you take the book and you hold it sideways, they're a little bit more visible. You can see them there. So there are some color breaking issues with the book. The back looks really great. There were a couple of small indentations on the book, one right there. Try to kind of angle it so you can see it. And we have some spine stress lines that are a little bit more visible on the back, and I think it's because the back is so black. Some finger bend creases here and there. I'm going to flash them. You should be able to see them there. But, and I do see a little bit of roll on the book, but the corners look superb. This one looks great. This one looks very, very sharp. You know, this corner looks solid, you know, and, you know, for the most part, you're going to see a little bit of blunting, I guess, on those corners. And the bottom corner also looks pretty good. Now, what struck me about the book when I had it in my hands was the weight. The book felt very heavy. Now, I don't know. I've never handled an ASM 300. This is my first copy I've owned. And so it felt unusual. Let me grab right now. I'm going to pull out another book, and we'll use this as a comparison. That I think is an excellent book to compare this one to is this, ASM 301. So this was also a book that I picked up. I think I showed this before, but I picked it up in a LCS just north of where I live. And it was a beautiful little newsstand copy, but it had a ton of really bad foxing, and I was able to remove the foxing. And I think the book itself looks really nice. Not sure what I still have some work to do on this book. There's a little bit of waviness on the cover that I'm not happy with. And but let's take a look at this one, because we should see should give us a good comparison. So when I lift this book here, 301 is noticeably lighter than 300. Now, I don't know, you can let me know, please let me know in the comments if, is ASM 300 because it's a 300 issue? Are there more pages? I don't know what the deal is, but it does not. I'm looking at 31 pages in ASM 301, and I've got 40 pages in ASM 300. So that right there, I guess, that's one thing that's going in the favor of maybe this being a legitimate book, is the fact that there are definitely more pages. So let's take a look at the page quality and maybe compare the two. Here is ASM 300. Let's go with that page, and let's take a look at what ASM 301 looks like. This one has, I noticed, a little bit of residue. Got a steamy little page there, didn't I? And this one, so page quality looks relatively similar. Not sure which one has lighter pages. Maybe the 301 pages look a little darker. So there we go. But I definitely can see that the 300 has that, I guess, sort of that traditional newsprint paper, and so does my 301. So I don't know. My main worry with this book is, and was, how heavy this book was. I do see the defects in the book. The book itself from the front presents beautifully. I do think this is at least an 8.0. I think it probably could be higher. I'm not sure how much higher it could be. I'm, where the color breaks are on the spine, they really are not terribly visible from the front. They are visible in the back, but really only one or two. From the spine side, they're a lot more visible. And this one almost looks to me like it's torn, but I don't think it is. But it looks bad. So there you go. I don't know. What do you think? Is this one legitimate? This 301 was, the backside of 301 was really beat up, and just really nothing I could do with it. But I'm just going to work on trying to apply a few more presses to it and try to get some of those little fine wrinkles and wavy lines out of the book. But color-wise, the book looks great. But I don't know. What do you think? I guess I'm leaning toward this book being legitimate. My number one clue, I think, is that if this bag is the original bag the book was in, I can see a lot of dirtiness on the outside of the bag, kind of like a dirt residue. This book does look aged, like it might, have been around since the 80s. But all in all, the book looks really, really nice. I feel like I got a great price on it, and looking forward to sending both of these books in. Probably going to do it together and send them in and see what we can. I might hold off. I may hold off and wait and see if McFarlane pops in again over at CGC for a signature signing. But I don't know, I think that there is something to keeping the book, in the form where it's not signed, because that, the value of the book itself will be lower, and you have a larger, collecting audience that could purchase the book. Let me know what you think. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. I really do appreciate it. It helps get things going on the YouTube algorithm for this channel and get new visitors to this channel to take a look at some of the content that I have. I'm working really hard on getting my hobby room done, and I think the quality of my videos are going to be a little bit better because I'm going to have a little bit of a nice backdrop and be able to see me talking, and I'm really excited about that too. So got some great things in the works in 2024 for Spine Ticks Pressing, and Just want to thank you for being here, being part of this channel. I'd love to hear from you what your thoughts are on this pickup. If you have any thoughts on why you think this book might be the real deal, or why, or some aspect of it that I should look for. But I don't know. To me, it makes me nervous because the book, I think, really does present nicely, and I think it may touch into the 9.0 range or higher, and that would be just absolutely mind-blowing if this book could come back that high. So thanks for being here. I appreciate your support. I want to thank you guys out there. This channel was nominated for the Comic Book Community Awards for Best Cleaning and Conservation Channel. And I want to thank you guys out there who nominated me and voted for this channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, and hit that notification bell so that you can find out when new videos are coming your way. Thanks for tuning in. Take a look at some of my other videos that I've got here on the screen. And yeah, I don't know. I hope this is the real deal. I'm gonna clean them up, get them pressed, and I think I'll make a special out of it. And when they come back, I will definitely share with you the results. But love to have these two copies, both in newsstand, of ASM 300 and 301. Hey, thanks for being here.